What? Hey, Ollie.
It seems pretty easy though. I think you just click on it. Yeah.
Get ready for live stream curling. Only at curlingzone.com.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Weston Golf Country Club for the 2016 Canadian Mixed Curling Championships. I'm Ray Hussein, and sitting alongside tonight is Dolores McCallum. Good evening, Dolores.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Good.
So tonight's game that we have for you on sheet A is a battle between Newfoundland and Labrador, coming in at 1 and 2 against Alberta at 3 and 0 here in the sixth draw.
2-4? Okay.
And the game is already underway, and it'll be Newfoundland Labrador with the Hammer playing the yellow rocks, Alberta playing the red rocks. And delivering right now is the Alberta lead, Allison
Should be on it.
Lack.
Don't need to.
Looks like they're setting their shots up, so getting aggressive right off the bat.
Close!
The lineups for tonight for the Alberta champions: lead Allison Kodalak, second Brad Thiessen, vice Sarah Wilkes, and the skip Mick Lismore, and they curl out of the Saville Community Centre in Edmonton. The Newfoundland and Labrador champions are skipped by Chris Ford, vice Mary Christensen, second Corey Ewart, lead Lauren Wazilke, and they curl out of the Remax Centre in St. John's.
Now, I know Newfoundland Labrador was curling on this sheet yesterday. I'm not sure if Alberta's been over here before.
This is their first action on sheet A, so
Newfoundland Labrador has a bit of an advantage when it comes to reading the ice. They know a little bit about it.
absolutely. And if you're just joining us right now, the ice here is exceptional for this Canadian Mixed Championship, done by Don Powell. Lots of swing on the ice, good speed, so it's great conditions for these curlers. Alberta second, Brad Thiessen. Second stone for Brendan Botcher on the World Curling Tour, so great talent here on the ice tonight.
Nice shot. One thing I've noticed about this sheet, too, is that last night, anyway, there was a lot of late curls, so they really had to wait for it.
Yep.
And it was really, really hard to trust the ice because you had to take a lot, especially if you're curling away from sheet B towards the wall.
Yeah. And of course, what we've noted in the previous games, this rotation is going to be so important for these curlers. Can't get away with flat handle here.
No.
Corey Ewart. Makes a nice hit and a little check over him behind the guard. So Alberta trying to come around that
Line on lead! Backing!
of Newfoundland Labrador in the top 12.
Close!
There's so much swing in the ice that virtually every rock in the house is a guard, so so rock placement is going to be very key here. This one hanging out a bit wide.
We can win.
There's the late finish at the end. Great shot.
I just had to wait.
So Alberta early in this first end.
We just had to wait. No,
And so Newfoundland Labrador looking to come around and corner freeze on that Alberta shot stone.
See, that's still hanging out there.
And that's just the difference in weight. That was thrown heavy right out of his hands. So
We should
Now
be
golden
shot
opportunity
too,
now for Alberta
I
to
believe.
find a spot to lie 3.
Hey,
Lots of rocks in there already. First end.
yeah,
Aggressive
we're 2,
first end,
right?
great for the viewers.
2? I'm assuming that means yes. Okay.
Other games on the ice in this 6th draw. On sheet B, it's New Brunswick against the Northwest Territories. Sheet C, Nova Scotia versus BC. Sheet D, Northern
I dropped
Ontario
my
against
knee.
PEI. And on the outside sheet, sheet
Ru-
E is the Yukon against
Let it work.
the host province, Ontario.
Yep!
Hard.
Gotta be past this one!
Hard. Hard, Ali. Go, 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 go. Hard,
This
Brad,
one hanging a
go.
bit wide and taking it deep to avoid a double, but for the moment, Alberta lying 3. So Alberta or Newfoundland Labrador looking to open things up.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff out front there. They're not going to have a shot.
Yep. Again, Newfoundland Labrador with the hammer in this first end.
Yep. Really hard. Still go, 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 go.
Oh, that moved a lot of things around. Oh, it's
We're
wide
both
open
trying to
now.
each other's
It's
rocks
wide
over
open
too
now,
high
so
there. We're both like,
Alberta lying 4, but the front is a lot better now for Newfoundland Labrador, so still a chance here, though, for Mick Lismore to throw a center guard and keep the pressure on. This is a very critical game here for Newfoundland Labrador at 1 and 2. They don't want to slip to 3 losses. The format here is 2 pools of 7 teams each, and so the top 4 make it into the championship round. So at 1 and 2, you've got to think this is must win.
I'm sure that pressure plays on their mind too when they're out there playing.
Absolutely.
That one glides right in there, doesn't it?
It's right in, yeah. Sitting 5, but a chance here to get some granite moving in the house and open up the scoring area for Newfoundland.
Now, what's he hoping for? Is he hoping for a nose hit here?
I think you could play this 2 ways. You could hit it on the nose, make the easy double. You could hit it a little on the broom side and possibly get a little roll in behind that top 12 stone and make 2 or 3 go away. So this one's curling hard, though.
Oh, he's going to hit it on the other side.
Yeah. Gets the double the other way. At least moves it to the back 8, so.
yeah, we just want to be in front of the. Just
Still looks pretty good for those red rocks. Lots of red in the house.
Yeah, it's lots of pressure for the first end. As a skip, you don't want to be drawing against the whole pile of your opposition rocks, so.
what do you like better? In front of our back one or tuck it behind?
For our Ontario viewers, Mick Lismore.
Edge 4,
if the
sir!
name sounds familiar. It might.
Edge 4!
Used to curl
Yeah.
juniors, I believe. 2007 with
call, just
Ryan
as long as we're
Myler
not deep.
when they made it to the Nationals. So
Speed here.
Oh, they're making sure the ice is
Brad,
nice
down
and
this
clean.
center path, you think it's going to be a little slower? Okay.
So first skip stone of this first end for
A little
Mick
wide.
Lismore.
A little wide. Go then. Just go.
Oh, they're really sweeping that one hard
We're
all
way
the way
down,
down.
sir. It's actually not
That's
bad.
gonna pull up short. And now, in an end where Newfoundland
Not
Labrador has
bad.
been chasing, this is a good opportunity to come around and potentially score 2 in this first end.
I knew path. I knew. all over.
It's interesting to see them play down this side of the sheet yesterday when they were playing here against Saskatchewan. I think they all got a little bit spooked by this side of the sheet. It was they were drawing down there, even on their hits too. They were ticking the guards. Had a hard time putting the broom down on that side of the ice. Ooh, we got by.
Just got by.
Wow.
But short.
Give him a thinker.
So now again a chance for Alberta to put on the pressure. A good stone top 12 will really put the pressure on the Newfoundland skip Chris Ford to draw against potentially 5.
That's a lot of pressure.
That is a lot of pressure.
Okay.
Dolores, you would make that all day though.
Yeah, right.
You guys like the blocking the draw better
Well,
than
in
coming
yesterday's game,
Okay.
it was a really
We know
close
this
game
path better
actually.
anyways,
The
right?
teams were really well
Way more
matched.
likely to make this.
But it came down to the last rock, and Newfoundland Labrador had to draw down that side. Or they actually placed
Top
the
eight.
rocks so that Saskatchewan had to
Half
draw
in
down
the
the
eight,
side that
sir.
they weren't comfortable with. And I think it really spooked them. They were cleaning the
half
ice.
in
They
the
had to
eight.
pick down that side
Yeah.
earlier. And so they were cleaning it really, really well. And when the skip got in the hack, I don't think he really believed it. He didn't want to draw down that side.
A little bit early. A
And
little bit
he
early.
came up a little bit short. And I think
Hey, line's
that
good.
is part of the
Hey,
mental
play the
game
weight, Brad.
and getting in
Play
the
the
hack
weight.
and really believing that you can make
Deep's,
that shot.
deep's no good.
Mental
Deep's no
aspect of
good.
curling is so underrated, I believe.
Deep's no good.
So.
Yeah, but it's
Easy, deep's
huge.
no
I
good.
mean, those two
never.
teams were pretty equal. They were trading ones the whole game, and it came down to that last shot, and they just got spooked.
And Alberta coming a little too deep on that. And so a nose hit will make the double, and Newfoundland will be able to score their 1.
Fine.
Final stone, Chris Ford. And he's going to hit and roll out. And so
I don't need to go. You're like, I don't need to. It's gone.
Oh, big 3, first end. That's a good way to start.
So an end that Newfoundland Labrador was under pressure the whole time results in a steal of 3 for Alberta.
We're just sorting out the technology
room!
here. Ray and I are. It's our first time using it,
Room,
so
wait,
we'll
wait!
work it out.
We don't have our trusty technician tonight, Hugh.
Hey,
So bear
Mine's
with
good.
us if the camera work is a
Mine's
bit
good.
shoddy at the beginning.
It might just be a little
At the
delayed
end.
switching the camera over, but
Yeah.
we'll get there.
We'll get there.
good judge.
That's a nice shot. Nice to be able to throw in the house on the second end.
Thank you.
Yep.
I can get it. Yeah.
I think we're going for a corner guard here. Is that right? Is that
I
what he
would
called?
believe so, yeah.
Yeah.
Newfoundland lead Lauren
There you go.
Wazilki.
Always appreciate
They shouldn't be too worried. I mean, it's really
one of the
early
nice
in the
little-
game. They have lots of time to get those 3 back.
Absolutely. Don't need to get them all back in one end. A deuce here would be a good start.
There's watch Vicky. I saw him
Oh.
on Sunday or Saturday. I saw him. Saw him for a couple hours. This weekend. How they doing?
Line's good. Bit of room.
Oh yeah, I met them for
Bit of room.
for dinner.
Put the weight. Line's good.
And this is my friend.
Line's good.
That looks good. Okay, I think we've
Freeze
got
the
I think we
Screens.
figured it out now.
Yeah, sorry about that.
What am I doing now?
So how they doing?
Okay, that's good.
So they've decided to come into the house, so Alberta lying too early in this second end.
So they're just going to freeze on it, looks like, or is he?
I think
no,
he's
he's
gonna
hitting
play a
it.
hit.
Yeah.
Funny that I.
Good call.
Well, they're lined up nicely for the double.
Yep.
May as well get rid of those now.
Shot.
Nice shot.
Perfect.
And so Alberta will look to hit and stick.
Brad, you thinking this? What do you like?
Contemplating peeling the
Free-
guard
fairly
and
thin.
making the double at the same time.
Yep. Hard. Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
Looks pretty
Whoa.
good.
Can you get it
Great
out?
shot. Yeah, I think he's got it.
Brad. Good
Fantastic.
throw.
Great.
Great shot, Brad Thiessen.
Just hold it there.
So that's got to be a bit disheartening for Newfoundland Labrador. They had a nice corner set up and potentially getting something going, but that was a great shot.
Yeah, that's rough.
So, no choice. Put up the corner guard again.
Yeah, they just have to keep trying it. Hopefully they'll get a chance to come around.
And that one's going to slip in.
Keep it normal. Nose. You think so?
Now, what club do you curl at, Ray?
I curl out of the Chincoosy Curling Club in Brampton, Ontario.
okay.
We have 2 clubs in Brampton, and Chincoosy is on the west side, I believe.
Clean.
of
Yep.
Brampton. Don't get my directions aren't very good.
Yep.
It's somewhere in Brampton.
Yep.
Somewhere in Brampton.
Good.
Have you been there for
Perfect.
a number of years?
I've been there for as long as I've curled, so I've curled for about 13 years. So all 13
Wow.
years
Cool.
at Ching's. So if you're in the Brampton area and want to try curling, Chincoosy Curling Club. Dolores, where do you curl out of?
I curl out of Oakville,
Yep.
and been there for 11 years, and
Awesome.
I work there as well. So I went to work this morning at the curling
Sticking
club
around
to
really mattered there,
get
Brad.
into the traffic and come here to the curling club.
I don't know
and
if sticking around.
it's just from
really
club to
mattered,
club.
Gotta love
That's-
Toronto traffic.
Yeah. But I love being in curling clubs no matter where they are.
Absolutely, that's what we're here for. So, an attempt to freeze for Newfoundland. Maybe come around it would be a good option. They're sweeping hard to get it by. Yep. That's a pretty good result. Again, as we've mentioned, there's so
Out of
much
turn.
swing on this ice that rocks in the house are very easily used as a guard, and so that's a great example
Field.
there. It's almost totally buried.
Yep.
So Sarah Wilkes now trying
Clean.
to play the run back.
Clean. Yep. Yep. Good.
No mistake.
Boy, everybody's got their game tonight.
Yep, Alberta is sharp so far.
Now you've been curling at Oakville for a while now in the summer league, and
I
you played.
have.
Yeah, you played the doubles this year too.
I did, and it was a great experience. Of course, doubles, for those that you don't know, it's been accepted by the IOC into the 2018 Olympic program in Pyeongchang, South Korea. So the successful Oakville Summer League, for which Dolores coordinates, this year they included a open doubles league, and I have to say I've been curling mixed doubles now for the last 3 years. We've had provincials here in Ontario for the last 3 years, and I think it's a great format. It's fun, it's fast-paced, and a lot of fun. So
It is a lot of fun, and this was the first year we had it in the summer league, and it filled very quickly. So I
It
was
did.
really pleased about that.
yeah. Any thoughts to have a full-time mixed doubles league at Oakville?
Yeah, we are. We're trying to get an open
Normal.
doubles league going rather than mixed.
Mixed, yeah.
It's a little bit difficult trying to generate interest. So what we've decided to do is have a doubles bonspiel,
Yeah.
and we're running it like a learning bonspiel. So we'll have a half-hour clinic at the start,
Yep.
and then
Whoa.
there'll be 2 4-end
Yep.
games.
Yep.
So it's proving to be more
Hard.
popular than trying to
Hard, yep,
just
stay on
run a
it.
league
Hard,
right
Ellie,
away.
yep.
Absolutely.
Where nobody wants to sign up for a whole season in a league when they don't really know anything about it. So I think the bonspiel, the learning bonspiel, will really help to get it going.
Definitely. And I think for us Canadians, it's a relatively new discipline to all of us. It's more popular in Europe and the developing countries who maybe don't have enough players to develop a full 4-man team, 4-woman team. So it's gaining popularity, and slowly but surely Canada's coming on board. So
Now, how did you feel about the new rules? Because we switched the rules halfway through the summer league.
Yeah, I think the discipline is so new, and I think the first 3 years that it's been run,
Don't take her first till we have it.
the game kind of gets monotonous.
Or do we
All
go
the play
center?
is to the center, and kind of predictable. So
I'm gonna make sure I'm there.
so I
can
think
be-
with the new rule changes with the power play and placement of the first stone, the stationary stone back forefoot, I think it'll start to create a little bit more different game. I
Oh,
mean,
it-
in general, it's pretty much the same, but it helps to create a little variety, and especially if you need to come back in a game, since there's only 5 stones that you throw in a game, or in an end, I should say. Definitely worthwhile trying new rules. So
Yeah, I have to say I did enjoy the new rules.
Yeah. Now, Dolores, you played in it as well, so how did
I
you
did.
find it?
I found it a challenge, to be honest, but I liked it. I mean, I like a challenge, so it was a lot of fun. It was really interesting too, because I think most of the people, you were one of the few people who had played it before. Most of the people in the summer league had never played it before. So the first game was really funny because we were all out there going, "Which rock is this? How many have you thrown?" I mean, it was really
It gets confusing really quickly.
yeah, because you don't throw in the same order as you do with regular curling. You have 2 placed rocks, and then one of your teammates throws 2 and the other one throws 3, and it's not alternating. So you have to get used to that new routine. You get into the routine of playing with 4 people, and everybody throws at a certain time. After the first game, I would say that everybody started to fall into a routine, and the game started to move a little bit quicker. But it does take a little bit of getting used to.
It's a different mental aspect too. It's a different preparation. It's a different game altogether. So you really have to wrap your head around it, and that only comes with playing it more and more.
Yeah,
so.
exactly.
So, Newfoundland Labrador, Chris Ford, facing 2 on his first, so a freeze attempt on this back 4 stone. And this one's curling. You're gonna have to go hard for it. And straightening up
Yeah,
now.
they have to watch it because they do tend to go really hard at the end.
Yeah. Just got caught on that a bit. Just over curls.
I think we want to.
So chance here for Mick Lismore to hit, and maybe don't want to sit right there, but
This
sit
and
with
bump this to
Y3.
here.
Yeah, that's a good call. Try and make the draw as hard as possible for Newfoundland Labrador.
Chris was really solid yesterday when he was playing.
Call it
really solid.
conservatively. Yeah.
He threw well. His weight was perfect.
Yeah. I think on that last attempt the weight was pretty good. Just A little caught out on the line there.
Yeah. They do tend to jump, and you got to really watch that and be ready for it.
Yeah. Final stone of this second end from Mick Lismore of Alberta.
No. Yep. Yep. Easy.
Looks good.
Pretty good result. So Chris Ford with his final stone will face 3.
That's perfect.
Oh, he's not having an easy go of it so far.
No, but Alberta's been curling very well so far.
Yeah.
So final stone.
Sweep to tee. No backing. Line screen.
Should be long, sir.
Well, they think it's pretty good. They're just sort of doing a heavy clean there.
Should have a shot at it, sir.
Got to put the brakes on, and it will. Just back 4 foot. So Newfoundland and Labrador will score 1 here in the second end.
That looked a little scary for a second there. I thought it might go deep.
Never in doubt.
Good force. When you were then around? I don't know. They might throw 2 yards. If we go around now, they might chase us. We only have 1 guard up.
So we're just going to run across the scores on the other
down
sheets. On sheet B, it's New Brunswick with a 2-0 lead after 1 end against the Northwest Territories. Sheet C, it's BC with a 1-0 lead on Nova Scotia. Sheet D is PEI and Eddie McKenzie with a 2-0 lead on Northern Ontario. And Sheet E, the Yukon with
I'm
an
gonna see
early
if you
single against Ontario.
I'm just leaning Corey because we've had it. Good one. This is a good one. Great throw. Sit down. No, not in there. Nice.
Have you seen very many red lights come on these roads?
There was one on Sunday, the first game that we commentated.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's been pretty clean. How about you?
Just one?
Just one.
Yeah. I think that's something mistake they're probably only going to make once.
I would think so, yeah. The handle gets a bit hot when you get to the hog line.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So Newfoundland starting off the end pretty well with a nice tight guard, and so Lauren Wazilke will try and come around.
Not quite.
Perhaps they were trying to throw in a second guard because they weren't sweeping that the whole way, so.
What style of play do you prefer? Do you like to be aggressive, or do you play in the house the first end to sort things out? Or?
I tend to play in the house the first end, try and get accustomed to the ice, get all the nerves settled.
I do the same. I always play. Sometimes I play the whole game in the house. I don't skip very much, so.
Oh, and that's the beauty of curling. Everyone has a different style, so. And this one's just going to rack on the front guard. So
that's the kind of thing we had a lot of last night. Just little ticks on the guard. Now, I had a great experience last week. I was playing my regular ladies game, and I was skipping because our skip was away.
Okay.
And the whole game, the only shot I had to throw were guards.
Skip stream.
Yep.
Skip stream.
I tell you, I was loving the ladies that night.
So you curled 100% that game then?
Yeah, pretty much. I think I floated one into the house, but it didn't hurt us too much.
I'd like to go.
No, that means your team is playing pretty well if you're throwing guards. So
Yeah, we had a great game that night.
Really hard. Go, 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 go.
There's a nice tap from Corey Ewart. So at the moment, Newfoundland lying 1 for sure. Got a couple biters. And our overhead isn't perfectly centered, so we're not going to take a guess on whose second shot.
Right down the center line's pretty good, Brad.
To tell.
So, Brad Thiessen looking to open the center up.
Whoa, whoa.
That's a great shot. Opens up the shot stone and saves a corner guard, so that's a great stone.
Really good shot.
So Newfoundland has to be careful here.
We're guarding ours. It's early to do that, is
Looks as though they're going to play the tap on their shot Yellowstone. This one's curling really hard.
Is it over? Ooh, it's going
It's going
sideways.
to find the hole.
Look at
Oh,
that.
wow.
That's
And
amazing.
Finds the hole and
Wow.
going to go through the back. Huge mistake there.
That's one of those ones you can't make if you're trying.
No, that's the that's not exactly one that you want to make. But so that's a bit unfortunate, and so now a chance for Alberta to hit and stick, lie to, get a little rolling behind the corner. This one's curling hard too. Gotta go hard to hold the shooter.
Oh. Almost did the same thing.
Yeah.
It's a bad read.
Okay. I think top 8's probably good, eh?
So Newfoundland Labrador are gonna try and throw a draw around the corner Alberta guard. And again, without hammer, you've got to be careful playing to your opposition's corners. Top 8 would be ideal here for this shot. Marie Christensen.
Wait as long as you can.
Well, they're letting it go.
This one's looking a bit hot. Ooh. This one's
Went
through
right
the back.
That's too bad.
So Alberta now a chance to take advantage of that mistake, and try and come around their own corner and sit 2.
One last clean.
This one's looking a wee bit pacey.
Oh, looks pretty good.
Quick. That path is quick.
Just
This
by.
one's curling hard too.
I think it's going to need a bump to slow down.
That's like back 12.
Well, sits 2, but in the back 12. So another opportunity here for Newfoundland to get around that guard.
Seems like they're all being a little bit fooled by the speed.
Speed, yeah.
Probably gonna box.
Alberta hasn't played since this morning's 10 a.m. draw. And Newfoundland was on the ice this afternoon at 2:30, so just a bit of an adjustment. And where is this going to stop?
No.
Just rolls off, but they're shot stone for now. So Alberta deciding to hit the shot stone and just roll away. Roll to the center line side would be ideal.
Now, do they just want to? They want to roll away because they don't want to leave a
They
triple
don't-
opportunity there. Is that right?
Nor a pocket. You don't want to. I think at this point, triple's going to be a little hard. But Newfoundland being down by 2 would probably want to freeze into pocket if they had stuck there. But they'll roll out.
You guys.
So another opportunity to draw around.
What ice here?
Great opportunity. Teams this week, of course, working on thinking time. Each team starts the game with 30 minutes of thinking time. So
There have been a few close clocks too this week.
So for some of these teams, it's different experience to work on thinking time or time clocks in general. So, so as a coach, Dolores, who would you delegate that responsibility to manage the time?
Probably the vice, I think.
Mhm.
I imagine the whole team would probably be keeping
Yes.
an eye on that, but probably that would be a good job for the vice.
Yeah.
Harriet, Huck, gotta keep going.
These clocks are pretty big too. You can't.
Yes.
It's not like those little ones in the window that you have to squint to look at.
No. So no excuses here that you can't see the time. So
That's a nice shot.
that's a pretty good shot. It's about 3/4
Hey,
buried.
Hack, wait. Yeah. Yeah.
But with so much swing in the ice, you could play a hack weight
Yeah,
here and
more.
easily punch it out the
More,
back
more.
and roll to the center.
Yeah, you have to be really careful that you throw the right
Maybe a
weight
little
though,
more.
because
Yes.
that
Yeah.
you know you'll have to get very close to
Just
that
hack.
guard, and we've already seen a number of rocks tick the guard and.
Okay, you can go a
and
little
be
less,
missed.
sir.
By the same token,
In between.
upping the weight as well too will help it run straight. So,
Yeah.
so you really do have to be precise on your weights here.
Just hack, eh?
So Mickey Lismore.
Yep.
And they're going hard right out of his hand.
It's a little bit of urgency there.
And
Never.
have they overbrushed it? Oh, they did.
Yikes.
Might have been a bit tight on release. Weight looked pretty good, but they
Yeah.
brushed it hard out of his
Okay.
hand and straightened it out.
I think they were really concerned about that guard, but they could have let it go a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, if like,
So great chance here for Newfoundland to draw in lie 2. They could draw the open side.
try by 8, guys.
Looks as though they've elected to draw the open side, Dolores.
We'll see what the sweepers do here.
It's real good. Stop button.
Well, they don't seem too worried.
Nope.
Oh, they're backing right off.
A pretty good shot.
Yeah, that's really good.
So. Draw against 2 here for Mickey Lismore in the third end.
Good easy? Yeah. I don't think this will... Our hits have been standing up on us a little bit here, so...
Final stone of this third end. Oh, he's actually playing a hit.
Clean. Clean.
Thought he was drawing.
Clean.
It's one of those where the broom is in same place for both shots,
Clean.
but looks good. No
Threw
mistake.
that great.
So, on this third end, it's a single for Alberta, and they move into a 4-1 lead through 3 ends.
Well, they've got to be feeling pretty comfortable right now. While they're getting ready for their next end, I just want to give a shout out to Oakville's biggest fan, Greg Robertson, down in Memphis, Tennessee. Do you know Greg? Have you met him?
I met him during the Open Doubles or Summer League at one point or the other this year, but
Yeah.
I did meet him, yeah.
He did play a few Summer League games.
Yep.
He came up to actually start the process of getting his certification for coaching.
Awesome.
So he took the competition coach course at Oakville and played a few Summer League games.
Yeah.
Spent some time practicing on the ice.
Yeah. No, he seems very enthusiastic, so
He is. He's pretty much
Line's a little
single-handedly
tight.
trying to build the curling
Line's a little
community
tight.
down in Memphis, which is not an easy task.
absolutely not.
They don't have a curling club, so they have to curl on hockey ice.
Hockey ice, yeah.
So it's not ideal, but they seem to have fun down there.
Yeah. So, Greg, we hope you're listening.
Okay, Ollie, it's good. T-line's fine.
Just taking a quick run through the other sheets. On sheet B, it's the Northwest Territories that responded back in the second end with a deuce of their own, so 2-2 against New Brunswick. Sheet C, it is Nova Scotia with a 2-1 lead after 2 ends. They just finished their third end, and it was BC with a deuce, or pardon me, a single. So it's 2-all there, Nova Scotia and BC. On sheet D, it's PEI with a 2-1 lead on Northern Ontario. Northern Ontario just scoring a single, so PEI with the hammer in the fourth. And on the outside sheet, perhaps a bit of an upset here.
I'm giving you a touch less,
It's
Allie.
the Yukon stealing 2 in the second end, and so they have moved ahead 3-0 on the host province, Ontario. They just finished their third end as well and starting their
Little wider.
fourth end.
Now
Line's
these teams
good,
at
room.
this point must be starting
Line's
to feel the fatigue and being tired.
handle, eh?
These
Heads
weeks
up.
are long. All the curling and being away from home, maybe not sleeping so well. I think these events
I think
take their
deep's
toll.
better, yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a long week, and,
Might as well stack them, yep.
but by the looks of it, we've got
Okay,
a lot of
that's
fit
good.
curlers
Good
out
brush.
here.
Nice
So
shot.
a lot of these teams, I'm sure, knew that they were coming here from the end of last season. I know our Ontario champions were declared in April, so good summer to get prepared for this event.
Yeah.
It's grueling.
Now, you've played in some tour events, I think, haven't you?
I have,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah, I've played on the Ontario World Curling Tour for the last 5 years, I believe. So, not with a lot of great success, but good experience, and I think has helped my curling immensely.
Yeah, I think when you play at that level, you can't help but get better.
Absolutely. You learn a lot about strategy, you learn a lot about yourself more than anything else and what you need to do to improve. So, so it's definitely a good idea to get out there and compete.
There's a nice draw.
Let's pick it out.
Are you left-handed?
No, I'm yeah.
Ray's doing all the clicking and changing the screen and everything with his left hand. I thought for sure you were left-handed.
No.
Yep. Hard.
Ooh, just got by the corner
That's
guard.
pretty good.
Great shot
Better
by
than-
Brad
better than
Thiessen.
Cole.
Look at
So
that, all lined up.
Alberta laying 3 early here. So Newfoundland looking to just clear the middle of the house up a bit. Down by 3, they could potentially just top these stones back, set up a little wall, and that's what he's talking about here. This one looks a little short on weight.
Yeah, it's over curling a little bit.
Feels like this. Easy or board? Easy or board?
So he just wants to flop over in front of those other red
Board.
ones, is that right?
I believe so, yeah. What you don't want to do here is over curl and jam it into your reds. So
Right.
anywhere high side.
Close. Yep.
Nice quiet controlled
Yep.
weight here.
Hard. Yep.
Oh, nice, that's exactly what he wanted.
Perfect. That's the beauty of this ice. You can play nice control weight and just throw it to your brushers so you get some nice finish at the end.
Shot spread. I'd curl up
Yeah, if
crazy.
you know that you've got good brushers,
my-
you got to use them. You got to keep them involved in the shot.
Absolutely.
Vicious.
Now, of course, the big incentive here this week is not only to be Canadian mixed champion, but will also represent Canada next year at the World Mixed Championships in Kazan, Russia.
That's right.
And it's the second one, I believe, after the inaugural one this year in Bern, Switzerland. So
That's a huge opportunity.
this year's World Mixed Champion came from Norway. So lots of depth in the world in mixed curling as well.
Yeah, it seems like it's gotten a little more serious over the years than it used to be.
Yeah,
Hard!
and I think part of it too is they had a European mixed championships for years, and so that was always an incentive over in Europe to have a good mixed team out of your country. But now it's a World Curling Federation event, so definitely I think a lot of the countries will be putting more effort into it. And George Carey's, I believe, said on Sunday that with mixed doubles getting into the Olympics now, there's rumor that later down the line, mixed curling, the traditional 4-person mixed curling, could get into the Olympics as well.
That would be great.
That would be great. So, fingers crossed.
Well, curling's profile has really increased too over recent years.
Yeah.
More and more people are interested in doing it. I know every year we have a lot of people who come to the Oakville Curling Club wanting to learn how to curl.
Yeah.
We have a learners league, the trial league, and we generate a lot of members from that league. So
Yeah.
it's great.
Yeah. And a lot of it to do with more curling being on TV, the Olympic Games. So curling's profile definitely not just a cult sport anymore. I think it's starting to get a little bit more recognition for being more of an athletes kind of sport where the players are more
shove
fit.
you the inside. This
better
one's a
looking,
little higher.
So
This
it's
one's a
great for
little
the game,
higher.
great for the profile, and it'll only grow from here. So
I was talking to Hugh the other day about the hit, draw, tap that we did
yes.
through the OCA, and the kids loved it.
Yeah.
And that was, I think, part of the reason for that was to generate interest among young people as well,
Yeah.
because it wasn't restricted to only kids who curl.
good.
Anybody could participate.
Really good.
Exactly.
So we had a lot of interest at our club. A lot of the kids did it and really had fun.
Yeah.
It's like a hot shots for kids, kind of.
And that's the thing, getting kids involved
Better.
in the game, having fun while they're doing it as well. So so that's a great
Hopefully it's a
initiative
little
by
higher,
the
so you can-
Ontario Curling Association here.
I thought you were telling me to like.
That's what we always talk about with our junior program too, is that if they have fun, they'll keep coming back. And so the goal of our program is to make sure they have fun. And it's the same with our summer camp too. We have a great summer camp, and we get a lot of the same kids coming back year after year. And when we're talking to the camp counselors, I always tell them, when the kids go back to school, I want them to say to their friends, "You're not going to believe the summer camp I went to. You've got to come next year."
Yep.
So that's our goal, is just to make sure they have the best time, and they want to come back next year, and they want to bring their friends.
And it's true of everything. The best advertisement is word of mouth, and so especially for kids, if they're having a blast doing something,
Even if I airball it, I
get
still
their
get it
friends
probably
involved.
coming
That's how
back on
you
it.
grow the sport.
Yeah,
You know what I
they
mean?
just want to keep doing it.
Yeah.
And because we have the summer ice, we can do it almost year round, so
Yeah.
it's great.
It's a huge advantage to have summer ice.
It is.
So, a little bit of pressure here for Mick Lismore. Good freeze there by Marie Christensen from Newfoundland Labrador. So,
That was a great freeze. Now there's a shot where you need to use your sweepers.
absolutely. So, peel weight coming here. And what do we got? No mistake.
There you go.
The rocks here seem very lively as well too, the striking bands. So,
Pushed a little
so they're
too
hitting
hard
those
there.
thin
Did
with
not
big
slide
weight
well.
and flying out easily. So,
What's that?
great surface here.
No, I hit it first.
You know, I was talking to some of our new curlers the other day, and telling them that if you're playing the front end on your
I
team,
think so.
75% of your game is sweeping.
be able to find
But
out
how
later.
often do we see people out practicing their sweeping? You gotta
It's
practice
so true.
it.
So true. Think a lot of
Managing
em-
those rocks.
Yeah, a lot of emphasis on just throwing the rock, but sweeping tends to get overlooked.
I could have hit like half a rock and been fine.
We recently bought a piece of equipment called the Smart Broom, and it's really great. I've been doing clinics with some of our members, and it's good because it gives you the exact stats of your sweeping, your push force, your pull force, frequency, so that you can judge how well you're doing with your sweeping.
Yep.
And it's amazing how one little change in your form or your body position can really increase the force you're getting down on the brush and making your sweeping more effective.
Absolutely. Well, Chris Ford here trying to freeze.
Little bump.
Just a little bump.
I think that's enough.
So Mick Lismore might
easier.
look to slash his red onto the
Anywhere
yellow
I was
shot
playing.
stone.
Yeah.
Given
Sure,
the weight
sir.
and accuracy that he throws,
I'm sure of it.
it's pretty simple, straightforward shot for him.
Now, do you think he could get that yellow one? Do you think that yellow one would come out if you hit it on the inside?
Center line side?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I think this just is more visually appealing just to slash it. It's a spot that runs straight, so. Final stone for Mick Lismore off this fourth end. Bit inside on release. No mistake.
Nice shot.
It's good.
So, Newfoundland Labrador now.
What's up?
Can blank, or are they going to try and take their one?
What would you do?
You're playing against a sharp Alberta team, but I'd still try and blank.
I would too.
Try and get your deuce in the fifth.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd rather
We had a lot of blanks here yesterday.
this,
There were some games where they had like 3 blanks right in a row.
And a lot of it isn't even that they're just going up and down the sheet. It's just a lot of great takeout shots being made to clear
Yeah.
the house.
well,
Final
either
stone.
way, it was this. For sure. Yeah.
And the
Nice-
blank.
Nice shot. We had one game here yesterday too that was interesting. They had a touched rock, and I don't think they could agree on where the rocks needed to be put back, and it was taking a while. And the official went out, and I think in the end they ended up just leaving the rocks as they rested after the shot because
Right.
they couldn't agree on where they should go back, and it was really eating into the time. So they
So
ended up
Dolores,
just letting it go.
what's the rule on that? Like,
Well, if the rock is touched between the hog lines, then you just stop it
yep.
and take it out of play. But if it's touched once it's over the hog line, you have to let it finish. And then the non-offending team would decide if they want to leave things as they are or put the rocks back. So I think that originally, I'm not sure which team was the non-offending team. They wanted to put the rocks back. But then there was some discussion about exactly where the rocks were, and they couldn't come to an agreement. So they ended up just leaving the rocks where they were.
I think at a club level, I think, because I see it at our club and any club that you go to, that a lot of people are just not clear on the rules. So I think it's important for anyone, even at the club level, to just review the rules before the season, because a touchstone between the hog lines means it automatically comes off, and I think a lot of
Right.
people don't know that. But,
And I think people even don't know what the definition of a touched rock is.
Yes.
It doesn't necessarily have to go offline.
Yep.
I was sweeping one time, this is going back a number of years, and my glasses fell off
Yeah.
and hit the rock on the top. Didn't affect
Yeah.
the path of the rock at all.
Yep.
But my glasses touched the rock, so
Yep.
we had to stop it and take it out.
Yep.
If your gum falls out of your mouth and lands on the rock, that's a touched rock, and you got to stop it. So,
Oh.
I think most people don't really know the true definition of a touched rock.
Yeah, that I always cringe when I see people chewing gum as they're sweeping.
Yeah,
Bad
you know what?
things can
I've done
happen.
that a few times.
So have I.
I have a burger with onions on it for dinner. I got to
Yeah.
chew some gum.
Oh. Anyway, so the teams have a 5-minute break, and so quick opportunity to go through the scores. On sheet B at the 4th end break, it's New Brunswick with a 3-2 lead on the Northwest Territories. On sheet C, as they're just finishing up their 4th end, it's 3-3 Nova Scotia and BC, or pardon me, 2-2 Nova Scotia and BC. We'll update the score once they post it. Sheet D, it is PEI and Eddie McKenzie with a 3-1 lead on Colin Quavila of Northern Ontario. And Sheet E, Ontario responds with a deuce in the 3rd end, so they're down 3-2. And they're playing their 4th end, just finishing up, and it appears as though Ontario is lying 2
skip rocks left. I think there's
two
one.
rocks to come.
Yukon has the hammer.
Yep.
We have a lot of people in the arena gallery tonight.
We do. I've only been here for the one draw on Sunday, but from what I hear, the turnout has been fantastic
It
for
is. It's
the
been
whole
great.
competition. So, shout out to Beth Woolnow and her volunteers and crew here at the Weston Golf Country Club on doing a remarkable job for getting great attendance and putting on a great event so far.
Now, Beth was talking to us yesterday about tomorrow because it's Remembrance Day, as you know, and she was
Yes.
saying that if there are any veterans out there who want to come and watch some curling, they can come in free of charge, and stick around, watch a game or two.
Yeah.
So we're hoping to see some of the veterans out here at Weston Golf and Country Club tomorrow.
Yeah.
honest.
Mike McLean playing his final stone of the
I didn't
fourth
see the
end
mop.
on
Did
sheet
you guys?
E.
Okay, I don't imagine it
Appears
was
to be
faster
guarding.
last time, and I think we have to treat it as though it's the same because guards are no good right now.
Brushers sweeping hard to get it. And they're over.
Oh, there's a lot going on over there.
So Bob Smallwood with his final stone appears to be facing 2 with his final stone.
So he needs a piece of the button, I think.
Piece of the button from our we're over on sheet A, so we don't have the best vantage point, but appears as though he needs to draw a piece of the button for his single.
Do you wear it or? Like think.
Well, I think he's got space. I mean that last stone for Ontario overcurled a little bit.
Yeah. Yep, there's definitely room. And lots of curl on the ice, so. So final stone underway for Bob Smallwood. This one's looking a bit hot. The brushers aren't touching it. Appears to be
Good
running a
overcurl,
bit straight.
Coming down. It
And
doesn't have any
brushers-
backing though. There
Brushers
they
now
go.
coming. As it comes in. And
Oh, just a bit
slips
heavy.
too far. So it appears to be a steal of 2 for Ontario.
I thought it was heavier than that. I mean, it went, what, about 18 inches too deep?
Too deep, yeah. So we'll update you on the score once they put that one up. But it appears to be a steal of 2, which would put Ontario ahead 4-3. And just to update sheet C, it's Nova Scotia 3-2 ahead of BC and Dean Jonis. Back to our featured game, and it is Alberta with a 4-1 lead. And it will be Newfoundland and Labrador after the blank in the fourth. The team from the Remax Center in St. John's will have the hammer.
So, Alberta's getting ready to throw their second. A little tap.
A little tap.
You're right about those rocks. I mean, that rock barely touched that. Look at how far it went.
Yeah. No, I'm not sure, Dolores. Are they using the club rocks here, or are these curling Canada rocks?
These are curling Canada rocks.
Yeah. So
I'm sure they're very well maintained.
I would suspect so.
No, I've never used curling Canada rocks. Have you used those?
Not a chance.
No.
No.
I haven't seen any malfunctions yet this week, so
No.
that's good.
Looks to be pretty
Sometimes the lights go a little wonky on those, but
good. A little wonky, yeah.
these ones seem pretty good.
And so Newfoundland, Labrador trying to throw a corner guard there, trying to get the 2 corners up, but slips into the house. So
Alberta will have none of it. He's
Steal.
going to take that one right out.
take that one out.
I think he's going to roll a little too far, maybe. Oh, take out his own. He threw that one pretty hard, so he might have been a little bit narrow.
A little bit narrow, maybe, yeah. Hard to tell when they're coming out that fast. I've never
Yeah.
come out of the hack that fast.
No,
so.
I don't either.
So trying to throw up another corner guard. This one's just gonna stay outside the house.
Oh, good.
So deciding to hit and roll off of this one now. Playing a softer control weight with this one. And a hit and a nice roll on.
Look at that, right behind the
Right behind
guard.
the corner. So great shot.
That's
So
a really nice shot.
Alberta lying 2.
I don't get those kind of rolls very often. I can hit, but I can't roll.
Same weight.
So another corner guard attempt here with Corey Ewert.
This looks really good too.
It's another good shot.
Right where they wanted it. The sweepers didn't have to sweep the last one either.
Well, that's a brusher's dream. Just
Yeah.
clean it all the way down. So Alberta contemplating what to do here. Deciding for the double peel here. They could do the same shot that they just played, which looks as though that's what they're planning on doing, trying to hit and roll off the corner guard just delivered. Sarah Wilkes.
Hard. Roll it, Brad. Hard.
That's pretty good, sir.
Rolls as a center guard, but that's a guard that Newfoundland and Labrador can use, so better off to roll that one right out.
Now, would she have preferred to just roll right out?
I would think so. As I said, Newfoundland and Labrador needs guards. They need to score 2, so this is a golden opportunity to get around,
Yeah.
get around buried and
Yeah. They
set
want
up
lots
their
of rocks in play, right?
Absolutely, yeah. So Marie Christensen now.
Gotta move.
It's hanging out there a bit, isn't it?
It is. It's a bit pacey. Now can he
Mm,
persuade it out
heavy.
the back?
Look at that glide.
Yeah.
And it hangs on.
Hangs on the back, but that's a miss. Just for our Ontario fans, just to update that score, it was a steal of 2 for Mike McLean. So through 4 ends, it's Ontario leading the Yukon 4-3, and the Yukon and Bob Smallwood will have the hammer playing the 5th. This one's a bit tight.
Yeah, they're really going hard on that.
Tight and
Well, it's by.
just got by. Wow, great brushing there.
Is that ever?
Perfect weight. So that's a great shot by Sarah Wilkes. And Alberta lying 3 here in the 5th end. Newfoundland and Labrador with the hammer.
Fully buried. I don't have any. I don't have any of it.
Again, these games are 8 ends, so 4 ends left. But Newfoundland and Labrador, you've got to think, has got to score and score soon. So
I think so.
I think he has to run that, doesn't he? He doesn't really have much choice.
doesn't really have much choice.
Okay.
theoretically could try and get by the guard tight and just tap it back with back 8 foot, back 4, back 8 foot weight and just sit in front of it, but that's a tough shot. I think at this point you want to make sure you score. Giving up a steal at this point is just not an option.
Really hard.
This one's curling hard towards their corner. They're going to rub the corner. No, dear. Oh, but gets a little lucky break and jams on the back, but Newfoundland seems to be struggling with that one side, though. Believe in the third end they struggled with getting by that guard. So
Yeah, you really can't be narrow, that's for sure.
no.
So they're going to hit this one, and then they're probably hoping for a roll.
No, I think you just want to hit and stick there. I don't think you
Yeah.
want to roll.
No, because I guess they'll just draw down to
Draw
it,
down
won't
to
they?
it,
Yeah.
exactly.
I think we want a nose. If we roll under, they might have a triple.
No, they're not taking any ice, so he's probably going to be throwing it pretty hard.
Yep. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Clean. Yep. Yep. Ha. Ha.
Bit of a roll. Not too bad. There's a hit and roll opportunity there, or just you could.
Yeah, if they hit and roll, they'll be shot, won't they?
Yep, they would. Could freeze, yeah. But with Mick Lismore's hitting ability, it's got to be perfect.
Yeah, I mean, if they do hit and roll perfect, the button's still going to be open.
It's funny, the debate is always what's the toughest shot in curling. So what do you think is the toughest shot in curling?
Freeze.
Freeze.
If you really focus on your shot and make sure you use your sweepers, and you've got really great I mean, the freeze is a team shot. It has to be a team shot.
My men's league team can say that I made the perfect freeze last night.
Did
so
you?
I did. I used my brushers, so
There you go.
there
See?
you go. It can happen.
You
It's
proved my
possible.
point.
There you go. So it appears as though he's going to try and hit and roll. First stone for Chris Ford of this fifth end.
Looks pretty good.
Get the roll.
Oh, nice.
That's a pretty good shot, but it's about
So they're
3/4 open, so I
Yeah.
think Lismore will look to pick this one out.
So he
Right.
just wants to pick it and roll out.
Just pick it,
right?
yeah. No need to be cute.
I think so. We could discard and force him, but I like this.
Final stone for Mick Lismore.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Clean. Whoa, whoa, Brad. Whoa.
Looks pretty good.
No mistake. So, Newfoundland Labrador will draw against 2 with his final stone.
And they need the button here.
Yep,
Just biting the button.
yep.
I find when I'm playing, probably the part of the game that I have the most difficulty with is judging the weight when I'm sweeping. But I'm really lucky because I have great teammates who are really good at that. So I use my timer as much as I can and do the best I can, but I have to say I really do rely on my teammates for that sort of thing.
I actually have to say I think mixed doubles has actually improved my brushing because I've played skip virtually my whole career, and you just don't get those opportunities to sweep, and it really forces you to use your head because it's just you beside
You're right.
the rocks. So it's finishing pretty hard here. Gonna have to go hard for the line. Can they rub off of it? No.
Not quite.
Great
So
weight,
close.
but just the line again. So that's a steal of 1 for Alberta here in the 5th end. So through 5 ends, it's Alberta 5 shots to 1 on Newfoundland Labrador.
Now, I think another one of the most difficult shots of the game is when the skip has to draw for the win.
It's a lot of pressure.
It's a lot of pressure, and you know, we were talking about the mental game earlier, and that's where that really plays a big role. You have to get in the hack and know you can make it, and just throw the shot, throw the right weight.
So you've done a lot of coaching. So what kind of techniques do you use to help your players mentally get prepared for throwing, no matter which position?
I think it's really all about keeping in a positive frame of mind. If you keep positive, I don't like any negative talk. I don't like people getting in the hack, and you know, we have one guy on the team who likes to talk about how to miss.
Oh, yes.
And I nag him all the time about not talking about how to miss. You can talk about tolerance.
Yep.
But don't talk about how you're going to miss,
Line's
because it can often be a self-fulfilling prophecy. So I try to keep all of the talk positive, all of the thoughts positive, visualization, get in the hack, and have a good routine. We all have cue words, and you know, we say our cue word. My cue word is control, and when I say control when I'm in the hack, it gets everything in line and just confirms that I've thought of everything I need to. My brain is full of lists. I do pros and cons and outcomes, and I just have my brain is just full of lists. So that's kind of how I work things out. So it's really a positive frame of mind is what you need.
Now, for those of our viewers that don't know what tolerance exactly means, because that came up the other night and at the club, and some of the players out on the ice didn't know what tolerance meant. So could you just explain what tolerance is in terms of shot making?
Tolerance is allowing, for example, if you're calling, say, a top 4 draw, is the tolerance for that shot to be a little bit light or a little bit heavy? If it doesn't end up perfect top 4, which would be better, to be heavy or light? So I hate to say it because I'll hear about it when I get back home, but it's how to miss.
So Dolores, how are you with tolerance?
You know, I'm pretty good. I think about tolerances all the time, and if I'm not sure, I ask my sweepers, and you know, we confirm what the tolerance is before we throw the shot, and so we're all on the same page. And so I think you know, that's part of the communication. You have to have good communication, and if I'm not sure about anything, tolerance being one of them, then I'll ask the sweepers, and you know, they remind me. Or you know, it's the same with the path that the rock is taking down the ice. If it's a new path that we haven't played down, it'll be frosty, it'll be a little bit light, a little bit slow down there. So, you know, you might want to throw it a little bit heavier. So we just remind each other of these things.
And communication is such a huge part of curling, I think.
Oh, yeah. No question.
I think
No
at
question.
any level, communication can always improve. So
Yeah.
it's a nice peel there by Brad Thiessen.
It's great for you to think of something like that, like the path, but if you don't share it with your teammates, it doesn't help anybody.
Doesn't help anyone, no. Now I'm going to give another plug for Oakville Curling Club, but I did notice that Oakville is starting up a curling and fitness program.
Yeah, we have one of our ice makers who is a personal trainer, and his gym is called Radix, I believe. And so they've developed a fitness program just for curlers, which is great. So
That's
we have their cards and their flyers at the curling club. If anybody wants information, they can give us a call. Fraser Pohl is his name. He's been an ice maker at our club for a number of years now, and he's recently started his business as a personal trainer and doing quite well.
Yeah, I think at any level, especially at the club level, depending on how many times a week you play, especially if you play at the club level more than 2 times a week,
Yeah.
I think fitness is such a huge part, not only to improving your game, but to prevent injuries. You hear a lot of sore backs or pulled hamstrings
Every
or
day.
anything. So
Well, it's funny you mentioned that, because just before I came here, I was talking to one of our members who had a pulled hamstring. And so I was talking to him about his daily stretches and showing him, okay, do this every time before you go on the ice.
Yeah.
And you won't have that problem anymore. So, you need to be fit, but you need to be fit every day, not just on the days you curl.
Absolutely.
So you got to do those stretches and keep strong.
Yeah.
And that'll prevent you from getting injured, and you'll be able to curl a lot longer.
and it just promotes a healthy lifestyle.
Right. It's not fun to pull a muscle. It takes weeks to get back to
No,
normal.
No. So, Newfoundland Labrador with a corner guard attempt, down by 4. That's going to be an all-out effort now to generate at least a deuce. Sarah Wilkes will try and peel this corner guard off.
Yep.
So Newfoundland Labrador is going to have to really keep their head in the game, really focus on what they need to do. They're going to have to make every shot.
Now, by contrast, Alberta being 4 shots ahead, as a coach, what would you advise them?
Don't get cocky.
Good advice, coach.
You still have to make your shots. You know, it doesn't take much for it to turn around. I think we've all been in that position at some point where you're feeling pretty comfortable. I remember one game we were up 8-1, I think, and we still won the game, but it was like 8-7.
Yeah.
So you can't get overconfident. You still have to keep your head in the game and focus and make your shots. You don't want to give it away.
No. I think we've all been there where we've had big leads and given a lead away and lost the game. So
yeah, it doesn't
it's
feel
not
good
the
at
best
all.
feeling, no. So another corner guard. This one's going to be kind of tricky to hit. You got to hit it just perfectly. But playing the same turn, same way. Quarterstone makes the peel.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Whoa. 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 Whoa.
Gets rid of their own, but
Really
that's fine.
Didn't throw my rocks.
Just try to stop everything.
Yeah, they needed to get rid of that other one. I think I just heard somebody call a timeout. I'm not
Really
sure what
thin
sheet
line.
that's on.
I believe on
I didn't,
sheet
like,
B.
just
I
the
heard
door was
Bravo,
open there.
so.
You threw perfect. And
Because I was too aggressive on my first one. What happened on my first one was I just too aggressive, like too positive.
It was New
you're a little
Brunswick
more
that called
positive
the
with it, but
timeout.
not
So
too positive. I gave you a little less room on your second one,
Marie Christensen.
and I had to sweep it as well.
I believe they're throwing the corner guard to the other side.
Now, some of these teams have some pretty serious jet lag to get over, too. I'm not sure when they would have arrived in town, but these the team from British Columbia, that's a 3-hour jet lag.
Yeah.
Can't just get over that overnight.
Or
No.
even in. Yeah. Right there. Alleys are curling more than anybody's, right? So
Now,
Okay.
did I see
So-
him call a
you
guard?
like that then?
I believe so. So this one you got to be careful on because you are 4 shots ahead, and you are sitting the one. So peeling the guard isn't the end
I
of the
don't know
world.
if I would make this call.
I wouldn't either, Dolores. I think I might be a little opposed. Guessing in their heads, they're thinking, well, we can put them away right now, but at the same time, as we just discussed, you've got to focus on scoreboard management and
That's right.
keeping your head in the game.
This
so.
could go very wrong if they're not careful.
A deuce at this point would be huge for Newfoundland Labrador. They haven't scored since the second end and just been outplayed.
Pretty good.
That's a bit of a suspect call.
Yeah.
If we draw and I
What's that?
so I try to
Chance here to just come around and just tap that top 4 redstone back.
Yeah, there's lots of space between those rocks. They can definitely get it.
They're talking about a draw on the outturn side. Draw around through that gap. There's a yellow corner guard.
guys like.
Yeah, I'm keeping an eye on that guard.
Yeah. That's a tough shot.
Yeah, I guess if you dead, then you'll have anything to run.
What would you play?
What would I play?
Do you like trying to tap it or just? I think because of
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think I'm tempted to just yeah,
We're
just
talking
come.
about hitting it? Wouldn't you? I don't know. I'm thinking I might want to freeze on there.
Yeah, freeze or a little top. It wouldn't hurt you. Only saving grace for Mick Lismore is that his guard attempt is biting the house. So even if Chris Ford makes a perfect freeze, he's got a pretty easy run back to get rid of the Newfoundland Labrador stone.
Well, this is turning into an interesting end.
So, Chris Ford.
yes, line really tight. Hard line.
Line's a bit tight here.
Yeah, they're really sweeping that early.
Yeah, you gotta go. You gotta go hard. 3, 2, in hard. Hard.
Get it by just.
Ooh,
Bump that back. That's a great shot.
nice.
Yeah, I like guarding. He's got that long run.
So,
We just pick it out.
couple options here for for Mick Lismore. He could
Sure.
pick the yellow shot stone, or he could just guard. He is shot stone on the button, and it would require a tough shot for Chris Ford with his final, and it would only be for 1. So
I'm thinking a guard's probably a good
guard
idea.
is, yeah. I mean, you did play the guard or try the guard
pick it
on your
out for
first
the
stone,
Ford.
so probably best to follow through.
I like guarding. Let him make that run for 2. We're still up 2. Up 3. 2.
And it looks as though that's what they're calling, just a guard.
Yeah, it's only for 1. But we gotta get 1.
Yep.
So yeah. I don't know if we're gonna have a shot for 2 that's worth
She wants them
trying.
to sweep.
Okay, line's good. Line's good.
Or she'll let us
Line looks pretty good.
As long as we're not in.
Just here.
Looking for this just outside the center line, so just got to stop now. It's a pretty good shot.
Yeah, very nice.
That's
So Chris Ford with his final stone.
He's in a bit of a pickle.
I think it's only there for 1, right?
Now there is a corner yellow stone
It's easier to
on the left-hand side as we see it that you don't see in your picture. 6 then, would you be tempted to just try and run that yellow corner guard in and try and get your deuce?
Well, it's there.
Does 1 really help you at this point?
They really need 2.
Yeah. I think if I was the risk taker that I sometimes am, I think I might.
But it could be there.
Down by 4 or 6 then, I think I might be tempted to just run that corner in.
No, you have to get the.
Well, you
have to
can
get
see
the-
that it's lined up nicely.
It's lined
It's
up
really,
pretty
you know, you
nice.
just have to focus on where you're hitting the yellow rock. You figure out
Absolutely.
where to hit the yellow rock, and then don't worry about the rest of it. If you hit it in the right spot, then you're going to make the shot.
Absolutely. Anyway, so final stone here in the 6th end for Chris Ford. basically just a hair off of nose high side.
That's curling.
This one's curling hard. No, I don't believe so. No, you don't. That's going to be another steal for Alberta.
2 through?
And so Alberta moves into a 6-1 lead with 2 ends to go, as Newfoundland Labrador discusses whether to keep going or not. And handshakes.
Well, that shot was probably the difference between shaking and not shaking.
Yeah, absolutely. So, with the win, Alberta moves to 4-0.
Game, good luck.
And Newfoundland Labrador, that's a very crushing third loss, so they're 1-3. With one more day
Here you
of
go.
round robin pool play tomorrow. Newfoundland Labrador will play Nova Scotia and PEI, while Alberta, they will play Nova Scotia and then Prince Edward Island in the evening session. So
Alberta played a great game there. They were really solid. They're really having a good week.
So anyway, we can't shift our cameras anywhere, so we're just going to do a quick run through of the scores before we sign off for this evening. On Sheet B, it's New Brunswick and the Northwest Territories tied at 3 shots all. That's through 5 ends. They just finished their 6th end, but haven't seen the score. On Sheet C, it is 3-3 as well, Nova Scotia and BC. On Sheet D, it is PEI with a 4-3 lead on Northern Ontario. And on Sheet E, the Yukon rebounds with a deuce in the 5th, and so they are 5-4 ahead through 5. And now playing the 6th end with 3 skipstones to come.
Well, some close games out there.
Yeah.
Well,
So anyway, just for tomorrow's schedule, we're on the air 3 draws tomorrow. 10 a.m. we'll have Nunavut against Manitoba. 2:30 we'll have British Columbia against Northern Ontario, and 7 p.m. it'll be Manitoba against the Yukon, and I'll be with you for all 3 draws tomorrow to take you through that. Oh, it looks as though we're getting camera coverage of Sheet B. So,
oh, that's interesting. Okay. Thanks, Jerry.
so bear with us. We're not sure if we can.
Oh, okay. So that's Northwest Territories. What's this? I don't know where that camera is.
So, that's it for tonight from the Weston Golf and Country Club. Dolores, thank you for joining me.
It was very nice to see you again, Ray.
As always. So again, tomorrow I'll be back with you at 10 a.m. with Nunavut and Manitoba.
I don't think I'm back until Thursday. Yeah,
Dolores is
Thursday
back
night.
on Thursday
night.
with championship pool play. Tomorrow, the last day of round robin play. So again, for Ray Hussein and Dolores McCallum, from all of us here at the Weston Golf and Country Club, it's good night. For all your information on curling, visit curlingzone.com, everything curling. Good night.
Good night.